Hello
Okay.
there. How are you?
Hello. Great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm good,
Yeah.
man. Really good.
And how are you handling the quarantine?
Ah, the same way, I guess, that we all are,
Yeah.
everyone on planet Earth for the most part,
Yeah.
except for the president, but that's another story.
Yeah, okay. We don't get into that,
No,
but
I don't.
it is interesting how somehow the whole world is living under the same circumstances, right?
Definitely.
Does does what we're going through affect your relationship with music?
I mean, I always listen to music. It's always on all the time. But I think if anything, now more than ever, music is needed more than anything too, just to break up everyone's day and, you know, um, I mean, it's odd for us, here we are with a brand new album, and we're a touring band that we count on, having new music to go out and support live, and play live. So it's a different time, but it's good to be busy, like we've been in full promotion mode, just interviews and talking, and
Mm.
it's been good. So I've been busy, but I'm going absolutely crazy, absolutely nuts, So, but we all
No,
are.
yeah, and I wanted to ask you that because working in radio sometimes you don't get to listen like the whole record because there are several things coming. But
Yeah,
now since I'm in the quarantine, I'm taking the time I used to take while driving or traffic to listen to a whole record.
right.
And it's been great because when I knew that Deftones were coming out with a whole record and I sat down and listened to Ohms, I was amazed. Man, what a record. And you guys managed to produce an album that to me it's it's something you need to sit down and go through the whole record. Some
Right.
great bands do a singles album. You listen to a record and you say, okay, I can take this song and this song, but there's something in Alms that it's an album that it's not like a concept record. It's not what I'm trying to say, but
Yeah,
somehow it seems like there's this flow between the songs.
definitely.
So I wanted to ask you about that. Is that somehow you planned it?
Yeah, it's always so we still try to make, complete whole albums that you made a great point. So here we are with all this time on our hands. So people are definitely paying more attention and having more time to dedicate to listening rather than skipping through things. And,
Mm,
that's kind of that's where we're at right now with all this extra time. We're at home. And so that's something interesting, but that is definitely, we always still, maybe growing up on all the good records from the 60s and 70s, and 80s as well. But we still always concentrate on trying to make a full album that hopefully the listener puts on and doesn't take off until it's done. So there's definitely a lot of thought, even the way the sequencing and the gaps between the songs, and is there a little, interlude that ties it together.
yeah.
So yeah, that's our hope that people will be able to take it all in, in one listen.
Okay. It's just that sometimes when I listen to a record to listen to an album, sometimes I think I go too far trying to analyze something.
Right.
So initially, I had no idea that ohms are the unit of measurements for electrical resistance between 2 points. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Ohms to me, it's like a meditation.
Well, there's that too. So
So,
yeah.
um, so I wanted to know a bit about that. I mean, are both the intentions considered for the record, or am I going too far?
No, you're spot on. Actually, it's spot on. I mean, it's of course as anything that Deftones does, it's meant to, it's a bit vague and ambiguous. I mean, you're able to take it wherever you want, and that's even the lyrics are written in a way that could be about sex, or it could be about making lasagna. Who know,
Okay.
or whatever. I mean, you take what you want from it, and you. But no, that. And then there was a little bit of debate between, do we just call it Ohm or do we have it Ohms, which is, so we decided to keep the S on, but it does have a little play on words. So it is a little bit of like Buddhist, like of spiritual, well, and electrical current, but we have, it's meant to be taken anyway, but it's certainly, you hit it right on the head, man.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I was thinking if maybe I was going too far because personally, I've been listening to you guys for quite a long time. I've always found this balance, like between something very harmonic, very very beautiful, and then brutality. You know,
Yeah.
So I was thinking if these both things that I'm picking up from the title of the record were in there, or if I was going too far, because I'm guessing like the process of recording a whole album when you are in the studio recording and producing is something that just flows with the band, or you keep in mind when working on a song trying to say something. Do I make myself
Yeah,
clear?
yeah, no, totally. It's interesting this time around, like writing the record, we normally, when we have to write new music, we normally, all right, here's a couple months, block it out, everyone get together in a little room and just go jam. We always write by jamming, it's still very much a band together, everyone just making noise and seeing what sticks and if we can make any songs out of that noise. But this time around, we decided to take some time off. About a year. We got done touring for the last record, Gore, and that
Yeah,
was about a 2-year cycle, of touring the world. That one,
yeah,
that's the one. And then we decided, we all agreed to take a year off. Everyone collectively, hey, let's just take a year off. We'd never really done that before, agreed on it. So we just did that. But the whole thing was during that time, we would get together maybe every month and a half, and just jam for a week. So the writing of this album occurred over a year, which turned into a year and a half,
okay.
and then before we knew it, we had the record, but we didn't write many extra songs for it.
Yeah.
Normally there's a few extra tracks laying around, this was done in a way that we kind of, so we would go and write, and we were able to live with the material over this year and a half time. And every time we would go back, it would grow. There was more, we'd write more stuff. And so we knew that we pretty much just had it was like, we weren't sure in exactly the sequence of the songs, but we knew that we had it. But we kind of wrote it with that intent, to make it be a short and sweet album. There's not a lot of filler, I don't think there's any filler, right? It's very concise, and it's like,
Okay.
but it connects. Again, there's a lot of thought put into the flow of the album, and again, the sequencing and how it ties together. Is there a second between a song? Is there two? Is there an interlude?
Yes.
So that keeps it flowing. And next thing you know, you're done. It's over. So
Yeah, it's just that like you just don't sit and say I'm gonna play track number 2 or number 4.
right.
I just it's a record.
Yeah.
It's thought like that. So
Good.
I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm also impressed and on the quality of the sound. Technically it sounds incredible, and I don't have like these speakers specially designed for anything. I have my old CD player and all that, and it sounds enormous. Where was this record recorded?
We recorded it down in Los Angeles, a place called Henson Studios. It's a very famous old studio. It used to be Charlie Chaplin, the actor.
Oh, yeah.
It was his movie studio back in the day, but then it was A&M Records for many, many years, probably 50 years. And then Jim Henson, the Muppet guy, bought it. And so it's these amazing rooms, just the equipment. There you go. Hey, Kermit. That's perfect. So we're still able to go into these amazing studios with a great history and amazing gear. So it was, and of course we had our old buddy Terry Date
yes,
with us again. So that all coming together in a lovely studio with amazing gear and a little bit of time, and but he's a huge factor in that as well, having him back. So
yeah, we gotta get into that. How was working with Terry again?
it's the best. He's just family, man. He's family. We did our first 4 records with him, went away and tried something. We actually tried to do the last in 2000, was it 6 or 8? No, it was 8, 2008. We tried to do a record with him again. It was the Eros record that never came out.
Yeah.
And that's the last record that she was on, we never finished it, but so we did work with Terry again on that. And then, another 3-4 years or 3 albums go by, and then we're back with him again. So he's just, it's exciting because, we're very close. We've known him for, 26-7 years. And he's family,
Okay.
He always said, hey, if you ever need anything from me, just give me a call. He always encouraged to try to work with different people, but with working with him again, it's obviously a very comfortable. It's a joy. It's very easy. There's no learning curve of trying to learn a new person and their, you know, how they work. And so that's already there, but also the sounds that our sounds are sounds that we developed hand in hand with him all over our first 4 albums, you know. So going to work with someone different, you know, things are going to sound, you know, this band still sounds like the band, but you know, there's different ways of recording. So we knew that we wanted to have those sounds would be immediate when we got back together with him, and they are, you know. So, and it's just really easy and fun to work with him. It's just, yeah.
I will not get much into it, but will anything happen with the Eros record, the one that never came out? We know the story.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it 100 million times, you know, and I know that there's a great interest in it, of course, man, for obvious reasons. It's the last music that she played on, and you know, we fully, I get that, we get that fully, and the only thing is, it was never completed, you know, and it's yeah, it's painful to go back to it, but yeah, people deserve to hear it because it's his music, you know, and it's him, and people love him. But it's not done. It's going to take a lot of work to finish it, you know. So there's been a lot of talk. I mean, it's a topic that's been discussed many times in the press as well, and maybe even, I don't know if we could do maybe part of it, or, you know, an EP or some of the best songs, you know. So I don't know, but yeah. I would love for it to see at least a part of it see the light of day, for the fact that so people would stop asking about it, but for no, I'm kidding. But for also that people could hear, could hear, you know.
I'm pretty sure, you know, there are things that you just have to ask, you know.
No, I'm kidding.
To ask about it. So,
yeah.
But going back to and I'm sure this is something lots of people probably have asked you too. How come the lead single ends up at the bottom of the record, like at the end of the track list?
People have asked. Maybe just shaking it up, you know, trying to do something a bit different. Everyone's like, that's when people actually found out what songs were, you know, how many songs, they're like, they can't do that. They're not supposed to do that. Well, we did that. What do you know? So it's just, you know, having releasing another record. This is our 9th album. So just trying to switch it up, you know, go against
the, you know, it is great because since the first track called Genesis, and English is not my native tongue, so sometimes when I listen to a song, I don't get the lyric exactly until it's released on the internet, of course. But I kept receiving the message on balance. Yeah. So I was thinking, you know, somehow that is the balance of the whole record, right?
Totally. No, you're again spot on. You know, English is my native language, and I can't even figure shit out. So we're in the same boat. No, it's obviously Genesis is rebirth. You know, it's many, but it's actually a rather, there's some heavy stuff, lyrical content wise on there, like, you know, but it's overall it's a pretty damn positive and optimistic record, you know, released during these times too, which was pretty nuts. So, but yeah, so Genesis that's the start. It's the brand new start. It's the start of the album. It's and then it just goes on from there.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You know, you go Genesis, you got ceremony, you got error, you know, so it's like a whole process until you get to the
Yeah.
And then, things.
Yes.
You kind of think about it, right? When you go through record over and over and over and over again.
And it starts making sense as you go on too, you know, and it's all deliberate. I mean, it's not like some things happen, you know, serendipitously. Something just happened naturally. But there was some thought in this one, definitely. And it's not a concept record by any means, like you said, but it's there was some definite we put some time into it, thinking of how it would expand and how it would grow with each listen. And so yeah.
No, I not to get into it either, but I do want to ask, does the political environment, you know, like the world, affects the process of creating a Deftones record?
I would say, how could it not? You know, I mean, because it's especially in the States right now, and here in America, it's so polarized and so it's just exhausting, man. But I mean, I always think, how could it not? We've never really been a very political band, you know, in terms of our lyrics and everything. Certainly have our opinions, and but I just see how can you not be affected by what's going on, you know, and anywhere in the world. So, and this is so happens to be, it's that here in the States, of course, and then COVID and fires here. It's just all, it's like, man, it's just like, so, and we're stuck and I want to go play bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, you guys been a few times in Colombia, and people here in Bogota loves you. I was just talking to Susan about it, like, and I've always wondered how do you manage with how high Bogota is, the altitude here in Bogota.
Yeah.
Lots of bands have struggled, and you still manage to go to flow with the whole thing. So I just
yeah. No, I mean, we've been twice to Colombia, man. It's been the absolute and most amazing experience. I remember the first time we played in this old sort of train station. I think it was downtown somewhere. Last time was a festival. So. No, I mean, we play a lot. You know, we played around the world. Been around the world, like the Chili Peppers. But you're in different situations all the time. And playing in Denver, Mexico City is as high as you can be. You know, and just so we were just so happy to be there. I think that if you don't think about it, you know, if you dwell on that, oh my God, I'm playing, I'm dying, and the air is thin. But if you just try not to think about it and take it all in and enjoy, then. But yeah, Bogota is high. It's high. Beautiful city, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. And one other thing, how's the whole White Stallion?
Yeah, so that's coming out. So here we are. We have 20th anniversary of the White Pony. That's crazy to talk about. I can't believe it's been 20 years, but it has. And so we had this idea even before we wrote the music for White Pony of having. We just felt it was going to be an important, a big record for us, you know. And we hadn't even written the songs. We're like, so we had this idea of like, there was a guy named DJ Shadow. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all. Who we love, you know, and he's actually from nearby us by Sacramento. Was from Davis area, kind of between here and San Francisco. So we were at a show he was playing in town, and we met him afterwards, and we're like, yeah, man, we're gonna make this record, and we want you to remix it. He's like, oh yeah, who are you guys? We're called Deftones. He's like, are you a ska band? We're like, no, man. He's like, well, what's up? I was like, well, we haven't written it yet, but we're going to get in touch with you. And it was just a joke. And we talked about this thing. So we would have the White Pony, and then Shadow would remix the album. We were going to give him a briefcase full of money and the tapes, and say, you know, like a drug deal, you know, and then 20 years passed and it never happened. And then we had an opportunity to do it, and now it's happened. So it's now, I think 11 or 12 tracks. I can't remember how many are. I think there's either 11. I think there's 11 tracks on that record. So it's not, Shadow does one, but it's remixed each song is remixed by a different person. And it's all in order as it was. So it's the White Pony to the Black Stallion. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it seems, you know, the whole full circle thing, because, you know, you said it yourself. Now you have Terry again.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's been solid years, man.
Yeah, a lot of spinning things, and they're all kind of meeting up at the same time. So I don't know that I'm at liberty to say more people on it, but there's some really cool people on it that did remixes. Okay. It's really exciting.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to it, Ed. Thank you very much for being with us here on Radioacktiva. It's been a great pleasure, and of course, always looking forward to have you guys coming to our country again.
Julio, thank you so much, man. I can't thank you enough. Please send my best to everyone, and we hope to be there as soon as possible. You know, we'll definitely be back down, of course, man. So
great.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to it, Dave. Thank you.
Cool.
It's been a pleasure. Have a very nice day.
You too, man. Back at you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.